So Wayne Bryant responded to an email. He didn't really answer any of my questions, but he did say something interesting. So Wayne Bryant is a write-in candidate for sheriff in Archuleta County. He's running against, well, in the general election right now, you got the GOP primary. So he's actually going to run against the winner of that primary in November, right? So it's between Boyd Neagle and Mike LaRue right now. But he's a write-in candidacy, so they might just kind of act like he doesn't matter. But frankly, if you care about, democracy, then... So here's my response to the questions for the forum on the 16th. The Republican candidates are being advised not to attend except Boyd. So only Boyd Neagle's allowed. Boyd Neagle's been the only person that's actually responded to any of my questions except for Wayne. I mean, I guess Mike LaRue hasn't responded. But I like that Boyd Neagle responded. He says he's familiar with Article 2, Section 13. He says that he's going to continue. He's going to carry on shop with the cops. I don't know if that's the county policy or if that's the city. I think he works for some town, or I don't know if he's a county deputy or what. And Mike LaRue, it's kind of weird that Mike LaRue, he said Mike didn't show up. Mike didn't show up. And so if Mike LaRue didn't show up, he's a Republican too. And he was also picked by Rich Valdez. So that would be the continuity if everything is going well and, if you want a conservative and everything is going well in Archuleta County, then you would want to have Mike LaRue in there because keep things the way they are and not the conservative position. Now, if you're looking for change, well, that's liberal now, isn't it? During the question and answers, one gentleman started to ask a question regarding Mike and was called out of order, and then Alvin took the mic from him and told him to sit down. Alvin is running against somebody else, too. Alvin, he's got a nice cowboy hat, and he looked a little shaken. He looked a little nervous when he was doing the interview with that fucking guy. But Alvin Schaaf is running against Veronica Medina. Again, both are Republicans, Archuleta County Commissioner number 3. So apparently Alvin Schaaf took the mic from the guy who asked a question about Mike LaRue and then told him to sit down. Mike LaRue's on the ballot, so I mean, you can be a bunch of assholes, and actually that will work to Mike LaRue's favor. If you bastards are going to cheat, don't cheat, you don't like that somebody just have better arguments. In debate class, it's not even really the strength of your argument. It's about how many arguments you spit out. So, spit out 5 or 6 arguments for your candidate. And if one works, and one works. And if it didn't, then perhaps it just wasn't time for your candidate. Meet your independent candidate for Archuleta County Sheriff. So I'm going to read this. My faith in God to see. How does your background translate into being sheriff? Well, my faith in God and my background and all the experience I need. No, my faith in God and my background is all the experience I need. As a conservative constitutionalist, it is my sworn duty and oath to protect and defend our rights and freedoms, life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness. That really does cover like all of them. Life, liberty. So we have a right to life. So that's self-defense, that's water, that's food, that's shelter. Liberty, that's the right to due process, right to speak, right to, peacefully assemble, right to not have soldiers in your homes. Property and the pursuit of happiness. The right to property has been around, it's in the 10 Commandments, the pursuit of happiness. I mean, I guess you could pursue happiness, however. The first, life, liberty, and property are the most important. Pursuit of happiness, it's got a nice iambic pentameter. It's got a nice cadence to it. Well, life, liberty, and property. Well, I like life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness. How about that? Just as our founding fathers intended, true, it would be my duty to protect and serve. I trust Wayne Bryant. I just instinctively trust that humble old farmer. Wayne Bryant is the nice guy, so I feel like he's been planting a bunch of cucumbers and corn and watermelons his whole life, and now he's like, I'm mad as hell, god damn it. What is the department doing well and where does it need improvement? I have personal experience with the Sheriff's Department since 2013, and I've seen and experienced a blatant disregard for protecting our constitutional rights. Recent events demonstrate this fact. As sheriff, I will refocus on the manufacturing and sale of illegal drugs in our county, rebuild our communications and emergency management, improve our response time, and become more interactive in our schools and community. We will remove the corruption that plagues our county and sheriff department. How would you build and maintain trust with the public? The trust in the current sheriff's department has evaporated. A complete overhaul and audit is now required. The sheriff's sworn duty is to protect and serve. I will re-educate our remaining officers in the Constitution and the roles and duty to protect and defend the people's constitutional rights. I will utilize training institutions such as the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association, as organized by Sheriff Mack, to retrain our deputies and becoming true peacekeepers. We will protect and serve our county once again. What? Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officer or Association. Who is that? Sheriff Mack? Who is this guy? So we're going to have to look into Sheriff Mack, huh? We're all going to do what Sheriff Mack says. I thought we were voting for Sheriff Wayne. I don't want Sheriff Mack. I want Sheriff Wayne. So I want to also, let's see, there's another email here. I really like the quick response, and, she didn't respond after that, though. I went ahead and asked, Ryan G. Williams and Carol Riggenbach several questions. And, I'm looking for common ground here. I like Elvis. I'm opposed to unicameral legislature. I'm pro-Second Amendment, pro-school choice, anti-crime. We agree on all those things. I also liked her Bible quotes. So, I don't, the questions that I had asked Carol Riggenbach, when she talks about trying to start up the war on drugs, is she going to try to repeal the legalization of marijuana too? And then I also asked if she would consider vehicular manslaughter to be a crime of violence. I asked her, what does she think of Article 2, Section 30B? It's a homophobic blight on the Bill of Rights for Colorado's Constitution. Also asked her if she thought these were all crimes: robbing, raping, hitting, killing, abusing, bearing false witness, torturing, arson, kidnapping, enslaving. I also asked her if about collecting rainwater, and she was like, well, I see that collecting rainwater is allowable, so I guess she Googled it and found out that it's, legal now. But how come Carol didn't know off the top of her head, if we should be allowed to have rainwater? I don't know. Don't take that raindrop. Is Carol Riggenbach going to go catch all the raindrops out of... You owe me 3 raindrops. What do you mean when you mention that we should keep the San Luis Valley water? So she says keep the San Luis Valley water. Is that like the RWR? Is that what she's trying to talk about? Because if we're trying to keep the water here, why wouldn't we keep the rainwater here too? So I don't understand what she's trying to say with that, okay? And that was all my response, but she had said this. I'm just going to read it verbatim. This is Carol Riggenbach. Hello. Thanks for contacting me. And she waited like a day or two. Regarding ranked choice voting, I don't believe the elections are manageable right now, let alone add to the complications of ranked choice voting. In my experience, putting new systems in place, there are always hiccups that have to be ironed out. I wonder how the other states who have implemented ranked choice voting are doing within the new system. Do you know? And I said something about Maine and Telluride and Basalt, which are 2 cities, Minneapolis, the 2 cities in Colorado. What do you mean by Article 2? She didn't know what Art.2 meant, and so I just Article 2. And she's like, are you asking about Section 13 of Colorado's Constitution regarding impeachment? No, not Section 13. It's article, right? There's sections, they're articles, and then there's sections, right? First they're articles, then there's sections. School choice, parents should have the right to choose a school, absolutely. And government-regulated curriculum is not okay. She was right the first one, but then the second one, Kiowa School just got Native American. You have to teach Native American history at Kiowa schools now. And, reading, writing, arithmetic, the school's been, dictating curriculum for quite some time. I don't hate that idea. I feel like we, the people, should dictate the curriculum, so it should come from the local school boards. But you got to do one or the other. If you want a private school, then you can't really say what the public school is doing. If you got the private school of your dreams, shut the fuck up about the public school. Let the people who's in public school do their thing. But the people that have to go to public schools, they can complain all that they want. Collecting rainwater, I see that residential, I thought, I was going to read it verbatim. I see that residential rainwater collecting is a allowable crime. We need to have stronger teeth in the laws for the officers to lock up criminals. A full-out war on drugs need to be a priority. I hope that helps. Thanks again. You can go to my website and see more info if you need, or email me back. Thanks again. And emailed her back, and I read a bunch of stuff on her email that was kind of, or from her website, that was kind of the point of, hey, I've read a bunch of your stuff. I've read you. I've listened to you. I've listened to what you said. And here's how I've heard the thing, and here's how I respond. So there you go. There's Carol Riggenbach and Wayne Bryant.